9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Wednesday, y'all. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, and we're talking all things wrestling, women's wrestling, and all of that good stuff. Now, the whole thing is our Snapchats, I was gonna say DMs. I just really lost my whole train of thought. First off, go and get your VPN. Click that code WWT to get the discounts as well. And who we have in the building, the PR princess herself, Miss Courtney Rice.
What's up? I haven't heard Snapchat in God knows how long, but it is Wednesday. It is hump day. It is the middle of the week. Sunny, but it's hot in Jersey. So just enjoying the rest of summer.
That part. My last 2 days have felt like 2 weeks, so maybe that's why I've lost my head. I'm like, wait, what day is it? What are we doing? The sweetest Oos is also in the building. Miss Honey, how are you doing?
Buzz, beautiful busy bees of the WWT universe. Boss lady, you all right? Last week we thought it was Monday.
The last 2 days have been hectic.
DMs, hilarious,
been very stressful. So we heard.
But Dylan, she said what she said. I'm not gonna.
I do not. Don't be coming to my DMs.
Don't it's good to see you, ladies. Glad to get into it. Good to be here with WWT once again. Another week, more wrestling. Just let's bring it. Come on now. Let's
for sure. And it's perfect day for you to come on, honey, because you have to definitely give us all the lowdown for Fanatics Fest. So tell us what happened, how it was, all that good stuff.
Oh man, so I wasn't supposed to be there. Kind of. It was actually happy accident, and it just something that ended up working out. It was something that I utilized as a surprise for my sister-in-law, who I love very, very dearly. And a couple of friends of mine got in touch with me about getting a ticket to go to Fanatics Fest. Got the whole family in, and you wouldn't believe it. Actually found parking across the street from the Javits Center, which was
meant to be.
Yeah, it was quite fun. A lot more of things happened. I'll say those things off air, but it was quite the story. It was quite the trip, and she had no idea we were going until we got there.
Oh, nice!
And we surprised her, and she was in tears before and after. I said, "Get the tears out now while you can, because during the pictures, we need you nice and right with mommy." And it was such a good time. We got to see them, and my mother-in-law, she's gonna hate me for this. She's gonna so hate me for putting this up, because she's like, "Can you guys cut me out? I'm sticking out like a sore thumb." But nope, I'm leaving it in there, Mom. You're going viral. I don't care. But it was great. Rhea was a gem. There were so many cool people in the building. Shout out to Muscle Malcolm and my cosplay friends as well that we always see through ISPW as well. Yep. And it was a good time. Lot of people. I love Fanatics, and it's, TK, I went to the one 2 years ago as well. They've changed it up so much, to where they have actually utilized and accessed the whole building for different things, all floors. Oh, nice. There was a certain point where a couple years ago if you had a press pass, or if you had other things to do and be you would be at a certain section and couldn't go past that section for any other reason. But it was just people everywhere. Got to see Cody and Tom Brady do the "What Do You Want to Talk About" episode, which was really cool. Nice. And just really cool energy. A lot of people there, man. It just gets bigger and bigger every year. It's such a great event. And I think we only did for the one day, because at the end of the day, the whole point was taking my sister-in-law to see Rhea. Shout out to everybody else who enjoyed the weekend. It was such a fun time, and you obviously see the clips and everything from it. It was such a great event. New York was on fire that weekend.
Yeah, I actually heard, because I think 2 years ago you went Fanatics Fest. We went through Fanatics Fest, and I've heard a lot of creators saying that it's not the same. Mm-hmm. It's kind of almost on where WWE is. It's kind of I saw one creator's he got a press pass, and then it just he didn't get to do much. So hopefully I don't know. maybe this is the wave. Like, you know, they don't need creators.
Maybe it is, but I mean, this was also, you know, no press pass needed or anything like that. It was just more about getting my sister to get that moment. And thankfully, you know, the wrestling community could be such a great community, and you meet good, cool friends to things to happen. So shout outs to my friends Danielle and Greg for that. I appreciate you guys very much, and so does Mary Ann, more than you know.
Hey.
There it is. So definitely shout out to them. Also, big birthday shout out to Shawn Michaels. It is his birthday today. Any words? Too bad Ced's not here. I'm sure he has some words for him. Any words for Mr. Michaels?
Well, happy birthday to him. He, you know, that's the one thing about Shawn Michaels, even right now in the wrestling space, when people always said who's their favorite wrestler growing up, he's always in the conversations. Always in the conversations next to him, Bret Hart, Macho Man, the Hardys, all of them. And it's crazy even to this day that Shawn Michaels is still being talked about. I remember when I think I said this in kayfabe. I remember when I first started working, when I started watching wrestling, Shawn Michaels was making a comeback. He had his match at SummerSlam against Triple H, and then he won the World Heavyweight Championship at Survivor Series. And I could say I finally got to see him as champion, even though it was less than a month, which really sucks because it should have been more than a month, but that's a conversation to have. But Shawn Michaels, he's just doing his thing, Grand Slam champion, Hall of Famer, big influence in the wrestling, Mr. WrestleMania. Need I can say more. And he sings his own theme song, by the way, too. But Shawn Michaels, he deserves a happy birthday with his wife, Rebecca, and his kids. Go do you. Go do you, Shawn.
And enjoy it, because I mean, what's fascinating about Shawn is that his legacy isn't just about the matches he had anymore. He's still solidifying his legacy by essentially, you know, looking over NXT and you know, gathering the rounds for the future of the business. And he's essentially gone from being one of the people who defined an era to helping build the future eras. And you know, I could sit here till I'm blue in the face talking about all my favorite things about Shawn Michaels, because like, what's not to like about the guy and the kind of career he had, the kind of journey, you know, one of the very few that was able to retire on his own terms, except for that one time, but we need not talk about that one time. Hall of Fame inductee, classic matches. I mean, a lot of people will resort to recent matches, Hell in the Cell, you know, the three with Taker, when his comeback in 2011. My personal favorite match of Shawn Michaels that I could think of since I was a kid was WrestleMania 10, the ladder match with Razor Ramon. Instant classic. It's just one of those memorable things that I remembered instantly from that moment. And at that point, Shawn already had a Hall of Fame career. And you saw what he did with the rest of it. So shout out to happy birthday, Shawn.
Yes,
I even did his entrance at Fanatics too, which was quite funny.
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah, it was.
I had to get it out of my system.
You know, we should Dylan, we should put the entrances together and put it on social media if you have time. But I know before you ask Dylan, let's get this Dynamite preview out of the way. What's going on with AEW today?
My
Courtney.
Goodness. So we are at the final stop before AEW Redemption in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. But first, we got to go to Music City, USA. Good old Nashville, Tennessee. Yours truly, it will be on the call at the top of the hour, so you get to hang with me for 2 hours. Obviously, of course, we have this marquee matchup. Darby Allin, Kevin Knight for the TNT Championship. We know Darby Allin is a former TNT champion, and he has been wanting to get his hands on Kevin Knight since Double or Nothing. They're finally going to meet this week. You can expect a lot of shenanigans from the Don Callis family. They'll be at ringside and everything else. But we are going country in country, Music City, USA. We also, right before their big match this weekend for the AEW Women's Championship, we're going to have Tekla and Willow Nightingale go face to face. Right before their big match this weekend. You know, these two ladies know each other very, very well, but also they have to be aware because there is a CEO lurking by and she's watching these two ladies, because whoever wins on Sunday, faces the CEO at Wembley Stadium. And speaking of the CEO, her new associates, the reigning AEW Women's Tag Team Champions, the Divine Dominion, have been targeting the Sisters of Sin after the Sisters of Sin victory at Stardom from over the weekend. They will be facing off for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships in a no disqualification match. It's going to get very ugly with both of these ladies, and definitely looking forward to this. And we're also going to have Jay White between the battle between the Bang Bang Gang and the Dogs. We're going to see Jay White go against Clark Connors. And I can tell you, there is going to be a lot of chaos. Expect members from the Bang Bang Gang, expect members from the Dogs and the Death Riders to be involved, because there is a lot of hatred between both sides of the board. And also for this one, on one side you have on one side you have Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley taking on the Don Callis families, Jake Doyle, Brian Cage, and the reigning CMLL World Heavyweight Champion Hechicero in trios action. Right before Kenny has to face off against Kevin Knight this weekend. Obviously, of course, Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley are facing off against the Young Bucks this weekend. So there is going to be a lot of chaos and a lot of mayhem. And all this is happening tonight at the top of the hour on TBS, well, simulcast on Max. And is there a match or a segment in particular that you guys are interested in Dynamite tonight?
I mean, definitely I want to see what Tekla and Will are going to do for sure. I mean, I think all the women, anything women's on AEW I'm about. So, but definitely want to see what Willow's going to be doing.
Yeah, and also keep in mind that this is her 4th shot at this AEW World Championship. Like, do the right thing, AEW. Do the right thing. Come on.
Do the right thing.
I understand Monet is, lurking and stuff. I get it. But come on, man. Willow's.
Well,
come on.
Outside of the ladies in particular, and I'm happy because I was a little bit upset there was only one women's match last week, but I'm happy the ladies are getting more space tonight with Tekla and Willow Nightingale. Obviously, of course, the AEW Women's Tag Team titles. It's nice to see the Divine Dominion on Dynamite competing, which I love. But you got to be careful because there's a flock of brawling birds searching a pond that they got to look out for. Obviously, of course, I'm very intrigued in this trios match because flock. But I'm very intrigued with Kenny Omega, Mox, and Will Ospreay only because Mox does not like Kenny. I don't know, with the Death Riders. It's just so much craziness with this. You can expect a lot of egos, especially with the Don Callis family. Obviously, of course, the Young Bucks, you'll see them because they are part of the elite and they're facing off against Mox and Will Ospreay this weekend. So there is a lot of layers happening, but I'm very curious how they are all going to get along, especially with the fact too the rest of the Death Riders are in the feud with the Bang Bang Gang and the Dog. Well, they're aligning with the Dogs, but they're feuding with the Bang Bang Gang. So it's like, it's going to be very intriguing to watch how this is going to unfold.
I will say this while I put my shades on. At least there are women's matches happening.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's all
Monday.
I'm saying. Because I'm
Monday.
very upset about that. But
do we want to talk about it?
I mean, does it need to? Do we have this? Is it up for discussion? It happened. There was. People talked about it already, and hopefully, it's
I know.
noted.
I just had to, I'm just throwing the shade out there, That's all.
Wow. I'm pretty sure you guys will be talking about more in this on Kayfabe tomorrow.
Will we? Have lots.
Well, I mean, yesterday was Tuesday, and somebody's coming to NXT.
Yeah, if you saw NXT, Mr. Mike Santana made his appearance after Tony D'Angelo retained the NXT championship. Mr. Boniqua from the Bronx made an appearance on NXT. And very curious where this is going to go next. He's eyeing Tony D'Angelo. Could he be the next person up for the NXT championship? Lots of questions happening. But happy for Mike Santana. Obviously, of course, there was a lot of discussion after his contract with TNA expired. Now He's in NXT.
It's about time.
Damn it. Sheesh. What took y'all so long?
It's about he should have been in NXT and should have already been on the main roster. This is I'm glad they got it right, but
yeah. And it's good for Tony D as well, because he's going against somebody formidable. It's not like Santana's going into this as a nobody. We know damn well who he is, especially with the whole TNA partnership kicking off and everything. He was at the forefront of that, I would say. He's bringing credibility and experience to this young roster, because he's still a pretty seasoned veteran, if you ask me. So, the louder, proud Woody Gore from the Bronx, do your thing. I'm here for this. I'm so excited for this, because it also goes to show like how the landscape is becoming more interconnected and how much this partnership keeps solidifying with TNA. So I'm glad they came to an agreement. Glad he's here. Mike Santana is not only just NXT, he's under WWE. No, yes. I'm here for that.
Yes, he is. And it's kind of crazy. TNA actually posted this on their socials today, wishing Mike Santana the best of luck.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. Because I don't think we talked about it last week, but it was one of the stories where it's just kind of like we haven't seen Jordan in a while. So we'll see how it goes. So as Mike Santana is coming to WWE and NXT, Santos Escobar is bidding a WWE farewell. So any thoughts, especially with the whole, I don't know, it feels like a WWE to AEW pipeline sometimes when you see WWE superstars leave and then they all of a sudden pop up on AEW. So tell us more about this.
Well, it's crazy because Santos Escobar actually posted this on his social. He kind of bid his farewell on his social. Some of it he said in Spanish, but I'll say this in English. 2 días, WWE. I gave everything and that what was taken. No regrets. Grateful for the people, the places, and circumstances I was put in. I'll keep growing my legend and my identification in the industry. Watch me, Paul and Nick. And then, of course, he goes on and saying it in Spanish, but pretty much he kind of bid adieu. And he's ready for the next chapter in his life. Not sure where exactly, but... And it's really crazy? I know people say AEW, and this is going to be crazy because I do watch-alongs for TNA for the Knockouts TV tournament. And Mustafa Ali said anybody in the back to challenge him for the international championship. I wouldn't be surprised if Santos Escobar made an appearance in TNA tomorrow.
Interesting.
I mean, anything is possible. We also have seen a bit of a WWE to TNA pipeline sometimes too. So, we'll see how that all goes.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about TNA, let's get a preview for that.
I know this is a few times that we do TNA, but tomorrow night on TNA, even though we're on the road to lockdown, we're getting started at the Hardy compound for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Once again, the Righteous against the Hardys. As I said, this time they're at the Hardy compound, so you don't know what to expect from the Hardy compound. We've seen this happen in the past and very curious, but the Hardys, they're fighting tag team champions. Well, actually, let me phrase that. They're the broken Hardys, I should say.
Yes.
But very happy to see that. We're also going to continue the Knockouts TV tournament. We're wrapping up the first rounds. We have Elena Black taking on Wendy Chu. And we're also going to have Jada Stone take on the System's Alyssa Edwards. And that'll wrap up the first round and get started for the next round. Really, Jeffrey? Or he's going to be the weirdest. Also tomorrow, happy birthday to Casey Navarro. It is his birthday today. But tomorrow night, he will be facing off against Nick Nemeth for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Also, he is in Philly. So if you want to hang out with him, he will be at Chicky and Pete's in Philly tomorrow. If he's doing a watch party. So feel free to check him out.
You're going to give his address or something. I was like, where is he going?
No, want to go hang out with him. Here's his address.
No, if you want to, you can go to Chicky and Pete's in Philadelphia. You could go there. Also, we're going to have some tag team action. AJ Francis and Frankie Kazarian are going to be taking on Moose and Elijah in tag team action. This has been brewing up in the last couple weeks. So very happy to see 4 of these men in tag team action who can't stand each other. And we're also going to hear from the system after Cedric Alexander successfully defended the X Division Championship against Fabian Aichner. He finally did that, and it's pretty much what's next for the system, but also what's next for Cedric Alexander and who's going to be the next person to challenge for the X Division Championship. Obviously, of course, he has Leon Slater and Ricky Sosa on his tail, but all this is happening tomorrow night on Impact, where you get to hang out with me, where I'll be giving you coverage for the Knockouts TV Championship. But is there anything in particular in TNA that's interested?
I mean, we definitely want to see the knockouts. Who's Jada up against again?
Alyssa Edwards.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, Alyssa's like a OG. Yeah, it's gonna be a really good match. I want to see what that's gonna look like.
Also, though, I mean, you got to look forward to the. I hope at least it's a cinematic one when they do the Hardy Compound. You know, like that's got to be. You know what I mean?
Should
got to be up there as must see.
It has to be cinema.
I feel like
the Hardy Compound.
Do you remember back in the day, a couple years ago, they did oh my gosh, the Bloodline on YouTube, and they strung like all the years together.
Yeah.
I feel like they should do that for the Hardy Compound. Like if they can, obviously cross every and just put it all together. Like it'd be just an amazing.
It's come so far, man. Without it, they probably wouldn't have had this extended career. You know, like they built that on their own from the ground up on their own property. It's great.
And also, if you've seen it in the past, their kids get involved in some previous matches, which is
that's what I'm saying. It's like you could see the evolution of the kids and everything.
Yeah, and what? Oh my lord! And then like, well, you know what, Jeffrey? I agree. We need like a classic dope ass like drone shot, like hovering above the compound or something, or going through the I don't know, something crazy. It's gonna be
Definitely. Good. All right, because I don't want to end with this. Let's get into Ms. Grant, WWE, and Vince McMahon. The update on this case.
Jeffrey, the way Courtney pronounced it, well, I had to pronounce it right because Jeffrey was like, Courtney, that's not how you pronounce his last name. And I listened to it on promo. So I was like, I have to enunciate it in a way. Yes. Dun. This story. Oh boy. Yeah, so Janel Grant, WWE, and Vince McMahon have executed an agreement to their dispute, according to a joint status report filed Monday in the U.S. District Court of the District of Connecticut. Per the filing submitted pursuant to the court's July 13th order, Janel Grant will file a stipulation of voluntary dismissal with prejudice within 5 business days, dismissing the action in its entirety to both remaining defendants, WWE and McMahon, but without prejudice to the parties' rights to pursue their claims and defense. And under those terms, the federal court case ends permanently and cannot be refiled in court while the claims and defenses proceed. A private and binding process. Future proceedings will not be part of the public record. The report was signed by the attorneys for all 3 parties, including Ann Callis of the Hall in London for Grant. Janel Grant filed the lawsuit in January 2024, alleging sexual abuse and trafficking during her time with the company, and Vince McMahon has denied the allegations.
Oh man. Man, there's so much to say about this.
There's just stuff they don't want public, pretty much.
Yeah. But it's kind of one of those things where do you be the sacrificial lamb and, go all in and not sign waiver rights. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of one of those things where, do you do that, or, it's been 2 years, and obviously from the time it happened, plus the lawsuit, so many years of our life, and that sometimes at some point you just kind of want, like, it's draining, exhausting, the mental health, all that stuff. So, I guess, do you think this is the last we're gonna hear as far as like Vince McMahon and his former shenanigans?
No, not at all.
No.
But I tell you what, though, both of these people definitely don't look the same way they did in these pictures.
Oh, wow. Put those glasses back
like
on.
Like you said, it takes a toll, man. This has been an ugly situation from the jump, from the beginning, and it's not going to get any prettier.
It's not. And I think if you read the lawsuit when it first came on, it was very disturbing, especially with the way it first came out. And listen, I know, because I saw some of y'all comments on socials yesterday regarding this, because nobody deserves to be sexual abused, number one. And nobody deserves to be ridiculed, which is really crazy. And especially with the fact, too, people were like, well, we want Vince back in WWE. I'm like, well,
it's not like that, honey.
You ain't gonna get that, especially with the way that Vince sold his stock to TKO. That's a whole layer of conversation itself. But it's just the way reading that whole lawsuit when it first started, it was very disheartening in a way. It just really kind of such an eye opener, because nobody deserves to be sexually assaulted. Nobody deserves to be ridiculed, especially with everything happening. I don't think this is the last time we see this conversation. And honey, you and I know this because what's his name was on that lawsuit, and we saw him back in May.
Right. Out and about.
Out and about. So, out and about. So I don't think,
like I said to you, I wouldn't shake that hand. I wouldn't touch that hand.
So, like I said, I feel like this is going to be an ongoing conversation. Obviously, of course, WWE is going to make money right way or wrong with it. So, I mean,
it's always going to be a topic of conversation. Look who the president is.
Well, yeah, that part too.
Who said
yeah.
That?
Well,
sorry, that was the bee stinging. Sorry, the bee was stinging. Sorry.
Oh boy. Shout out to Ryan. Ryan, thank you for being a member for 12 months. You guys too could be members for WWT. And what that entails is you get full access on interviews before everybody else. You get some merch as well on discounted prices. You also have the ability to have one-on-one interviews with us as well. So many different things that are offered with those memberships. So make sure you become a member today. And super chats are open. So if you want to take advantage of those super chats as well. So yes, so many things. And I feel like there's so much stuff as far as that lawsuit and in general WWE that we're just never going to hear about, just kind of buried in all the stuff. And I think we will eventually hear it, but it'll be one of those dark side of the rings 5-10 years from now.
Totally. The first chance they get, they're going to make like a 5-6 part series. It's going to be like a whole nother series.
It'll be the whole season of Dark Side of the Ring. Yes. One full season.
Yes. Also, FYI, guys, I know Unreal just dropped, so we're definitely going to be doing a watch along for Unreal in the next few days. So definitely keep it locked for that. And then let's hop back to AEW. AEW All In London is around the corner, and they just dropped some big news today. So what are they talking about?
Oh my goodness. So I just can't believe we're almost less than a month away from Wembley Stadium. But they put out a press release. AEW announced AEW All In Welcome to Wembley fan experience will take place Friday, August 28th and Saturday, August 29th from the Great Hall at Wembley Stadium as part of AEW All In London weekend. Pretty much, because I'm reading for the full press release they released, each session of AEW All In Welcome to Wembley will have a limited capacity, allowing those in attendance to experience all elite wrestling up close and personal. Fans will have an opportunity to take a photograph with an AEW star, view rare AEW and talent memorabilia, get a photo taking with the AEW World Championship belt, Purchase AEW All In London merchandise before Sunday's event and participate in partner activations with Upper Deck, Heavies, Shirt Farm, and more. In addition, a live DJ will host contests and giveaways, and fans will be treated to an exclusive preview scene from AEW Presents the Last Match. Tickets for each of the sessions will be priced at $60. That's in Euro money form. They will go on sale this Friday, July 24th at 10 a.m. via AEWTix.com. And fans interested in early access pre-sale opportunities can register to become an AEW insider by visiting their website. 5 individual sessions throughout the weekend will be available for fans to choose from. And on the full press release, they give the full session as followed.
MDB, you are a hot mess.
Hilarious. I just read that.
I just saw that. I was like,
made me chuckle.
I mean,
well, I like to think that they've pretty much made Wembley successfully feel like more than just a venue at this point. This is like their go home kind of thing. It's part of the company's history now. So I guess it's kind of like how they set up for, WrestleMania World when we went to 40 and, they had the whole convention center with all those cool things to do nearby and stuff like that. So kudos to them. Good for you.
Yeah, they're definitely carving their way. When they had Double or Nothing in Vegas and that was like an annual thing, that was like awesome. But yeah, they're definitely carving the way. I think they, did it before WWE as far as international. So we'll see what happens as far as WWE and Saudi with WrestleMania. But AEW is doing its thing, and congratulations to them. And this was actually something that we kind of touched on last week, but now in the ROH capacity as far as Hall of Fame. So Fake TK had, addresses the potential of ROH Hall of Fame, which we still have to look at that AEW, that not pass, but what I'm talking about, Courtney. We need to look at that AEW package or something. But anyways, let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's like Tony Khan. It's like Tony Khan was listening to our conversations last week.
Maybe
it's so weird,
welcome, Tony.
Right?
Maybe. Well, I should say you're welcome, because now you see a lot more stardom on the roster. And I said that as a question from Forbidden Door in the media scrub. And I'm like, oh, now we see more presence of stardom. So you're welcome. MDB. I'm hoping there's snacks there at Wembley Stadium. I would not see them. Maybe their version of British snacks or in the UK or whatever they want to eat. But anyways, Mr. Bossman Tony Khan addresses potential return of Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. Thinks Athena has excellent case to be inducted. Just a quick update for everybody. Before Tony Khan acquired Ring of Honor, the previous regime had rolled out the first ever Ring of Honor Hall of Fame class, and the inductees were as followed. They had Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, the Briscoes, and Kerry Silken. That induction class was in 2022. Tony Khan appeared on the Battleground podcast and was asked about the possibility of there being another class. And he said the following: I really think that's a tremendous thought. I have not added to the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. It was a fantastic inaugural class. That Ring of Honor, the previous administration had inducted. So that was something that had already been set up when I brought the company. I think they picked up a fantastic class. And I do think there are people that would be fantastic additions to the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. And it's definitely something to think about and something I'm interested in. And then pretty much he was asked if he would turn it into a live ceremony for Honor Club. And he's responded, I'm not sure, because you just got me thinking about it again. I'll have to consider that. But it's a great thought by you, and I'll take that under advisement. It's a good consideration by you. And then following up on that question, he was asked if the forever Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena would be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And he said she has an excellent case. I absolutely think she would have an excellent case to be in that. Yes, obviously, of course, she is the longest reigning champion, and she surpassed Roman Reigns' record, and she is the reigningest longing champion in the modern era.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I know what you're trying to say, MDB. At least I think I do. In that case, would you put both of them together, like AEW and ROH? However, ROH has such a rich history from before even AEW existed. So almost keeping it separate makes sense as well. So how would you guys? Would you guys keep it separate? Keep them together? What's your guys' thoughts on that?
I honestly would keep it separate only because Ring of Honor has so much history that a lot of people don't even know about. And if they're going to plan to do it again, I would love to see Nigel McGuinness be inducted in the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. I feel like a lot of times, and I'm not saying people underestimate Nigel, but learning some of the impact Nigel has done, and even now, it's just really insane to watch. So I think if they are going to do it again, I would be very, very intrigued on focusing on Ring of Honor. Obviously, of course, you have some that are on the WWE, like AJ Styles and all those people. That's always a little hard to watch, but I would definitely be MDB. Please don't talk about Nigel like that. That man can still wrestle, and he's getting ready to wrestle because he still has a shot at Liam Moriarty for the pure Ring of Honor Championship, so he can still wrestle. But yeah, I think they should do it separate, and especially keeping it Ring of Honor because it has such a rich history. As I mentioned, a lot of people do not know, especially when TNA was first coming out and just seeing so much of history. Now, granted, there was a lot of messiness that happened in between, but just seeing that still alive. But I would just keep it separate.
Yeah, it's probably for the best also because you're able to differentiate what exactly I mean, honestly, because you don't even know what the credentials are. And if you're going to try to differentiate from the credentials of what that superstar had in Ring of Honor prior to AEW, you're better off just keeping it separate because they'll still be they at that point they could be multi-inducted Hall of Fames. You know, you could combine it, like make it part of the same ceremony, but understand that these awards are from Ring of Honor. These awards are specifically for AEW. But if you, he's right, and I think I understand why he would say even Athena's name, as you know, considering like insinuating it could be a first ballot easily, you know, and if you're basing the criteria on impact, success, championship success, and contributions to everything, then hands down, give it to her. She's definitely one who deserves to be part of the conversation. She's been deserving to be called part of the conversation even before she went on this journey, and a lot of us knew it, just some companies didn't, and it's all good because look at her now, and she's flourishing. She's finally earning her flowers, and you know damn well with as much as she's given to this business, she's going to give it back by the end of it whenever she decides to. But she's somebody naturally to be brought up as part of any Hall of Fame conversation.
I would also throw in there, since she's been at Ring of Honor the last couple years, their pay-per-views have been main evented by women.
Yes.
They just let that sink in. They have been main evented by women.
So do you think in Tony's mind, he's like, yo, I'm giving y'all women pay-per-views on the ROH side. So, you know, AEW, like that's a double thing. I don't.
It don't matter. We want to see it everywhere.
I just really would love to like talk to him about, you know, his thought process with ROH, because it seems like definitely he's keeping it separate, but it's also like it's almost like the redheaded stepchild sometimes, because it's just like, oh yeah, and ROH, and it's not. It doesn't feel like it's getting the same, you know, attention that AEW gets.
And you know,
you still have the stars cross back and forth sometimes.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? They had a free episode yesterday on YouTube. It was on yesterday.
See,
which is like they need to put it on YouTube. Like, put it on YouTube so people can watch it. I mean, stop playing it.
Yeah, well, on YouTube, or get that AEW app so that you can get both of them, and you know, then you pay the $9.99. But now you get the pay-per-views. Now you get, you know, AEW on Wednesday and Saturday, and you get ROH. That's a pretty, and then you get the back catalog. That's a pretty, for $9.99 or even $19.99 a month. That's a pretty.
You get the AEW.
That makes sense.
The AEW network for only $9.99.
Yeah, that's. I mean, might actually make more money that way. And I mean, obviously, there's, you know, probably deals in place that, you know, with Prime and HBO that might, you know, be an issue. But you know, if you can't find a home for ROH, that seems like a better bet than just an isolated app that people are just kind of like, what are we doing? So, I don't know. Maybe there's something we don't know, which is highly possible as well.
I would think maybe, and also with the fact too. I mean, come on, you have TBS, you have TNT, and you have True TV. I mean, you could put them on True TV, and that would have been fine. Because not AEW
or Tubi.
Yeah,
Tubi's good. I'll take Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
MDB, the ROH stories are actually pretty good. When I was watching it, they actually sometimes better than AEW, to be honest. Like I said, we are going to be having a watch along for Unreal, but in Unreal it just dropped, I think yesterday.
Yes, yesterday.
AJ Lee was talking about her, I don't know, I don't want to say promotion, but her deal. So let's talk a little bit about that. That was released on thank you to Diva Dirt for and Fightful for talking about it. So what happened there, Courtney?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I think she talked about this on Monday too when she was on Nikki and Bree's podcast a bit. But AJ kind of goes in because she's always been a champion for women in the industry. Obviously, we know about her social post in 2025 where she called out Stephanie McMahon for equal pay. But going in deeper while speaking on the new season of WWE Unreal, she discloses that this time around she was paid the way her husband is paid. And she goes on to say, one of the things I fought for back in the day wasn't just for equal footing. It was, let's get paid the way men get paid. To know I'm signing this contract where I'm getting paid the way my husband getting paid, where I'm being treated like an equal. It was a boss ass moment. I'm not going to lie. And she does talk about it. She also disclosed how she was feeling when she left WWE a decade ago. She goes on to say, in the last year of my career, so much was happening inside the company, outside of the company, with my husband and the company, my physical health, my mental health. And it was just a perfect storm of I'm not okay right now. I feel like I hit every single milestone of my 10-year wish list of dreams. I did everything, but the tension, the fans, and none of that means shit if you're not alive to do it. And WWE Unreal is out. And also, if you're in San Diego for Comic-Con this weekend, she's also will be in multiple panels this weekend. So there you go.
For sure. Has anybody gotten to watch Unreal yet?
Full disclosure, I've watched only the first 2 episodes. The second one messed me up. I had to stop. I even went on my stories to rant about it today because I was just like, how dare you have me crying on a Wednesday afternoon just to have me reliving things that I wasn't expecting to relive. I just want to watch the content and see what it's about. But here we are. But in regards to though, AJ, you could tell how big of a deal it was for her. Because considering what was going on at the time or what could have been going on at the time that we even knew nothing about, even though social media was still pretty hot then, it's not like it is now. And seeing the growth in AJ Lee and knowing that she can come back and to see the fans receive her so well and to see, that just to see her journey literally come full circle with everything she's been through, I think it's the bigger conversation is about how WWE has valued her as an individual talent, and I know it's obvious to always have them, when you talk about AJ, CM Punk isn't too far from the conversation, but it's also a positive sign for women's wrestling when you see a woman being valued based on her own name, her own history, her own star power. You heard the pop, the crowd, everybody in there, grown ass men wearing AJ Lee t-shirts, skipping around, putting on social media how happy they were waiting for her. And I'm not knocking at any of it at all. I'm not saying it to knock anybody. Please, by all means. But for her to see that, I'm sure, did a lot of things for her emotionally and mentally that it probably wouldn't have happened years ago the way it did, like the way it did now if she were to come back. But it was great.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of crazy, that within the same 2-week period, we have Awesome Kong talking about TNA and, getting paid less than a McDonald's manager. And then, 15 years later, you have AJ Lee, and I'm sure other people such as Charlotte, etc., having these great deals. So, how far women's wrestling has come along. And I think I saw some posts where, Rhea's doing way more numbers on just appearances than, a lot of the WWE superstars. So,
man,
it's
I
kind
tell
of,
you,
Mhm.
them Fanatics lines were no joke, and they had everything organized differently. We got to hook up with a fast pass, but even with the fast pass, there were rows that we still had to wait through.
The fast pass, like Universal Studios fast pass, that's crazy.
That
Yeah.
is nuts.
God
Yeah.
bless y'all.
Yeah,
also-
man.
God
And
bless
also
y'all.
with the fact too, she had like a look-alike contest. Did you see all
She
those people
did.
dressed
She
up
did have
like
a
Rhea
she did
Ripley?
have a look-alike contest. It was really cool. She came out, surprised everybody with her entrance and stuff. Alexa and Tiffy came out there too. It was really cool. But yeah, man, the value that I love to see, like I said, the value that you see women bringing to wrestling. Period. You know what I mean? It's just something to behold because it was just not done this way before.
Right.
It's kind of crazy because I was at a Dynamite, not this one, but I think it was last summer when they came to Philly. They were going crazy for Tony Storm. I saw people dressed up as Tony Storm, timeless Tony Storm, and I was looking. I'm like, "Jeez, are you sure you're here for Tony Storm? Are you sure
I have never seen so many Rhea Ripleys in one location. Bunch of Rhea Ripleys and Cody's, all shapes, sizes, ages. It's fantastic.
And also Roman too. There's a lot of people that dress up as Roman.
I love the ones where they do Bianca with the pregnancy belly. That
oh
one,
my god! So that group is hysterical. They're the World Wrestling cosplayers. You got Macho Man, you got Dusty Rhodes, you got Shawn Michaels. They're hysterical. Like
oh
they
my God.
They do such good work on their cosplays. Oh, and the Iron Sheik, like down to the accent, everything. It's hysterical. Shout outs to the World Wrestling cosplayers.
Yes.
That pregnant Bianca, when I first saw that, I think she brought that after, of course, that was after WrestleMania when she showed up.
Yeah.
That, and then I think she joined the Subway Mania group on social media as well, where they were doing like the wrestling matches on the trains. Hysterical. Hysterical.
Only on the East Coast you can get with stuff like that.
Listen,
the
they
Metro
didn't have that stuff when I was little.
Nah,
growing up.
Not when we were kids watching wrestling.
Nah, man. See a match randomly on the train while I'm going to school. What? That would be so exciting.
Yes,
make my whole day. I wouldn't even need
ride
to
the train.
go back home.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to get ready for Timeless Elite Wednesday happening in an hour or so. So with that being said, honey, where can everybody find you?
Everybody can find me putting on my shades anytime somebody mentions Sami Zayn in the chat. But not only that, you can find me on all things Wrestling with Honey. Yes. Wrestling with Honey podcast, Wrestling with Honey YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, all of that good stuff, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah.
All right. And Courtney, where can everybody find you?
Well, they can find me top of the hour because we got Timeless Elite Wednesday from Music City, USA, and Nashville, Tennessee. You can hang out with me for 2 hours. Friendly reminder, there will be a watch along for Redemption this Sunday from Montreal, Quebec. So there will be a watch along for that. You can also check me out tomorrow where I'm doing TNA. I know my siblings at the kayfabe doing it, but once you're done kayfabe, you can hang out with me to do TNA because we're wrapping up the first round of the Knockouts TV tournament. It's been fun to watch the coverage on TNA and also, of course, checking out the Hardys and the X Division, see what the people over at Total Nonstop Wrestling has, and also continuing to spill a lot of tea because there's a lot of stuff happening from Dark Side of the Ring that we need to talk about tomorrow. So lots of tea happening tomorrow. Also, you can follow me on my socials at Courtney NJ11 because I do have content that's happening. Shout out to Dave and everybody from Fight Factory Wrestling because my recap will be posted. It's just been a hectic couple days for me, but shout out to them. It was a fun show at the Shore last week, so I will be posting a recap of that. Make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling, Tommy, Total Tom, and everybody else. Their show at Wildwood is tomorrow. So if you're in the Wildwood area, please check them out. It's going to be a big show. There's Ted DiBiase, Brutus the Barber Beatcake, Ken Shamrock, Val Venus, so many other people attending tomorrow.
I heard Tony Atlas is defending his title as well.
Yes, he is. Tony
Unreal.
Atlas. He will be defending his title. So there's so much happening, and they got amazing shows. Also, they have 80s Wrestling Con on Halloween in the fall. So get ready for that. But yeah, follow me on my socials. 'cause I have a
Halloween,
lot
I
of
forgot.
stuff.
We still got to
Yes.
figure out what we're wearing, girl.
I have to figure that out too. But
Who we going
I got a
as?
lot
Who
of.
we going as?
Yeah, I don't even know. I have to think about that.
We got time.
We have time. But yeah, you can follow me because the PR Prince is cooking a lot of stuff. Can't tell you what it is, but lots of stuff is happening throughout the summer.
For sure, guys. Yeah, you can follow me everywhere at TK Trinidad. Make sure you follow Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms. The website has been updated with a few new things. Definitely check the articles that are dropping on a daily basis, not weekly. And definitely keep it locked on TikTok. We have some surprises coming up on there as well. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao for now.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling. Because if
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.